ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter joining us now. And Adam, what's the end game here for Payton and Loomis and their appeals? Do they reasonably expect to have these suspensions reduced, or are they trying to buy more time to set up their organization going forward?
Well, Hannah, unless they can present some compelling evidence different than the ones that they've already presented to Commissioner Goodell, then it's going to be difficult to change his mind and have those suspensions reduced. But ultimately, what they're seeking is some clarity as to what they can and can't do during the length of their suspensions. Right now, they're uncertain about that, and they don't have those answers, and they'd like to get them from Commissioner Goodell. And, of course, they'd like time to put together a cogent and coherent argument to present to Commissioner Goodell. They'd like a lot of time to be able to do that, and the league would like to have the appeal as soon as possible. So right now, the two sides are at opposite ends of the spectrum on the timing of this, but ultimately, it sounds like the NFL will prevail and it essentially at some point say the appeal date will be on this date, and we have to get it done then.
Also, what's to be made of Roger Goodell saying that he would not stand in the way of Bill Parcells coaching the Saints next season?
He said that at the owners' meetings last week. It's really not anything new. The Saints get to do what they want at this point in time. If the Saints owner, Tom Benson, and the general manager, Mickey Loomis, and Sean Payton himself want to hire Bill Parcells, it's within their rights to go do that. Commissioner Goodell is not going to step in the way and stop them from doing what they want once they need a replacement for Sean Payton.
League officials met with the NFLPA yesterday about the penalties. Goodell said they've been given 2 confidential reports on the investigation. When could we hear about the punishments for the players involved in that bounty program?
Essentially, it's a case, Hannah, here where the NFL is not going to get a recommendation from the NFLPA. They're hoping to get an answer sooner rather than later, and they feel like they want to get as much information as possible from the NFLPA to try to make the best possible decision. But it looks like right now the NFL is going to have to go at this alone and make a decision that it feels is the best one with the players. Now, a lot of people have heard the numbers 22 to 27 defensive players who were investigated. Ultimately, when this punishment is handed down, it is expected to come down solely against the Saints' captains, defensive captains, and defensive leaders. We're only talking about a handful of players. It's not going to be sweeping discipline across the board for 20-some-odd players. You could look for a handful of players like Will Smith and Scott Fujita and some of the defensive captains and leaders only.
And are we talking suspensions, perhaps, or just fines here, Adam?
It certainly sounds like, based on what the league has already done with Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis, that suspensions would be involved. And again, you go back to the incident with Jonathan Vilma. He was presented almost as the poster child for all this, for slapping down the $10,000 allegedly to get after Brett Favre in that NFC Championship game. And so Vilma will be a part of that group that includes Fujita and Will Smith that is expected to get some severe and serious discipline, Hannah.